Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that in the previous lecture we had started the discussion over the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, right? That was the topic on which we had started the discussion. And basically, as we had seen that within this particular topic, these all are the subtopics we have scheduled for the discussion, like starting with the introduction part. Thereafter, the terms of reference of the Constitution, the Commission, 50 years of working of the Constitution, areas of concerns and the Commission's perception, recommendations of the Commission, and the earlier efforts to review the Commission or the Constitution basically. So these were the topics that we had scheduled. Out of these, we have completed the intro part and the terms of reference of the Commission. Okay. These two parts we have completed in the previous lecture. And basically before starting this lecture, let us recap some things that we had basically discussed in the previous lecture. In the introduction part, we had seen that the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, in short also known as NCRWC, right? And basically that commission was established by the government in the year of 2000, right? After the 50 years of the implementation of the Constitution, right? And in the year of 2002, basically the commission submitted its report to the government. When the commission was set up, the terms of reference of the commissions were clearly defined, and as per these terms, basically what was the factor, you can say that it was clearly specified that the commission would have only the recommendatory and the advisory role. It means the commission is not empowered by itself to rewrite the constitution. And also we had discussed that when the commission was set up, the commission was clearly instructed to give the recommendations and the suggestion after reviewing the constitution, if any required. Okay, but the recommendations and the suggestion that would be submitted by the commission, those things would be based upon the facts and figures and the procedure which should be within the limits of the parliamentary discipline as well as the basic structure doctrine. It means that if any suggestion recommendation would be given by the commission, then this suggestion recommendation could only be implemented by the government within the sphere of the parliamentary discipline, and these provisions and the recommendations should not affect the doctrine of the basic structure, right? And then we had seen that basically there are the 11 areas selected by the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution to study, and as per the findings of these 11 areas, they had suggested the you can say the recommendations and the other things to the government that could be implemented. Okay, so that was a quick recap of the things that we had discussed in the previous lecture. I hope you have revised the previous lecture in the well enough manner before you have come for this lecture, as many times I have told you and reminded you that is for your own benefit. Okay, so let's start with this lecture right now. So now we are going to talk about the 50 years of working of the Constitution. Okay. Now we know the Indian Constitution was ready on 26 November 1949. But we waited for, you can say, almost 2 months, and then we implemented this on 26 January 1950. That is what we also celebrate as an Republican Day, right? Republic Day, basically, you can say. All right. So basically, from the 1950, the year when the Constitution was implemented, till the year of 2000, the same time gap and the reference, you can take it here also. Within this time period, or within this span of the 15 years, what was the performance of the provisions of the Constitution? Okay, what were the areas of concern and how these things could be tackled. That all was concluded by the commission when they submitted the report in the year of 2002. And basically, we are going to see those 50 years conclusion the commission has found out. So we can say, in the total sense, the observation made by the commission on the working of the constitution from 1950 to 2000 are as follows. Like, these were the areas of concern. What are achievements? What are our failures over the 50 years since the independence? It means that when we got liberated from the colonial government of the British era, okay, till then or till now, whatsoever we have achieved in the country with the help of constitution, whatsoever remained as failures for us from the point of view of the constitution. Okay. Thereafter, how have each of the three organs of the state, legislature, executive, and judiciary, okay, how these organs have redeemed the constitutional pledge of ushering in a social revolution. As we know, basically in the government form, there are the three organs: legislature, in charge of making the rules and regulations; executive, in charge of implementing the rules and regulations; judiciary, review the working of the rules and regulations, also review the legislature and the executive actions on the basis of constitutional grounds. Okay, that is also the part of the judicial review. Okay, so how was these organs working together or working separately within their own spherical era, and see how these constitutional pledge they have undertaken. Thereafter, has the dream of the founding fathers for a life of dignity to the vast million through the process of socio-economic transformation have been realized. Like, four founding fathers were the one who were the part of the Constituent Assembly, right? We know the Constitution of India was prepared by the Constituent Assembly that was established after the Cabinet Plan, right? So whatsoever dream they had seen, okay, while formulating the constitution, whatsoever their aspiration, how many of them have been succeeded, how successful we are to give the life of dignity to the vast million, even now the billions of the population, socio-economic transformation and how. Okay, what then is the balance sheet? It means how progress we had made and how much failures we had seen. These two things. So now, first we will see the political accomplishments. Okay, first are the political accomplishments. If we look at them, India's democratic base has stabilized as a working federal polity. Okay, like the democracy that we had introduced in the country through the help of the constitution, that has been stabilized over the 50 years as a federal polity, which means that the two forms of the government we had introduced in the constitution succeeded in maintaining their position so far. And with the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendments, the base of democratic debate has been widened. Okay. So if we are looking at the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendments, we know that these are basically for the establishment of the local government. 73rd established the local government in the form of Panchayati Raj institutions. 74th established the municipalities in the form of local urban government. Now the question that I'm going to ask you is very simple. In which year these two acts were passed? These two acts were passed in the same year. So now you are required to tell me in which year these acts were passed. And the answer of this I had already provided you in the separate lectures. Also, I had reminded you in the previous lecture. So this time, the right answer should be there. You will have the 30 seconds to think and answer, and your time is going to start now. You're required to just tell the year in which the 73rd and the 74th was passed. Okay. Just think fastly and think accurately. Okay, last 10 seconds are there. Okay, the time's up. The correct answer is the year of 1992. The year of 1992 was the year when the 73rd and the 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts were passed. Okay, so by passing of these acts, basically we had established the third form of the government, that is known as the local government. So we now have the three forms in the government: the central form of the government, state form of the government, and the local form of the government. Okay, it means the establishment of the local government has given the greater push towards the non-centralization. Okay, because by establishing the local government, our main aim was to check out the ground reality on the ground basis. Okay, because central government is not that much of effective to solve the local problems on ground, because they are in charge of the whole nation, not on the single area. Similar with the state government, they are in charge of the whole state, not an particular area of the state. But the local government that has been set up with the 73rd and the 74th amendments, basically those governments got a small jurisdiction area, and that's why they are mainly concentrated upon the local area and the problems. Okay, so that's how the greater push has been achieved for the non-centralization. General elections have been held with regularity. There was no that much of delay we had seen. And the transfer of powers constituent upon the results of elections have been orderly, peaceful, and the democratic. The education qualifications of the member of parliament for the central government and the state legislatures for the state government have shown marked improvements. Parliament and the state legislature are increasingly more representative of the composition of society. More and more members of the hitherto backward classes are moving in the political ladder. Okay, it means that basically the political sphere of our country, with the help of the constitution, has been well preserved and well designed. Okay, now let us shift our focus on the economic infrastructure. So there has been marked expansion and the diversification of the production. Okay, it means that not only we expanded the economic activities, but also we diversify them so that we could include more and more things in the economic sphere of the production. New technologies and the modern management techniques are increasingly employed. Marked advances in the fields of science, technology, medicine, engineering, and the information technology. Okay, it means that not only these areas got expanded since 1950, but also the segment of these areas got diversified with the time. Okay, so we can say between the 1950 to 2000, the agriculture production index was increased from 46.2 to 176.8. So now you could assume how much is the growth. Thereafter, 1960 to 2000, wheat production went up from 11 million tons to 75.6 million tons. So now you can see that it also showing the impressive growth. 1960 to 2000, rice production went up from 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons. Impressive expansion of the industrial and the service sector has taken place. Index of industrial production went up from 7.9 in 1950 to 154.7 in 1990 2000. So it means in the fiscal year of 1950 to 1951, we were only on the 7.9 in terms of industrial production. But in the fiscal year of 1990 to 2000, we have reached the 154.7. Okay, it means now you can say it is not almost double, but almost you can say 100, more than 100 times of growth. Thereafter, electricity generation has increased from 5 billion kilowatt hour in 1951 to 51 to 480 billion kilowatt hour in 1999 to 2000. Okay, so now you can say it is more than 100 to 100%. Okay, it means we had also gained the increase in this. Thereafter, 6 to 8% annual growth of the GNP between the 1994 to 2000, except in 1997-98 was achieved. Okay, so now we have seen the GNP. So now this is the little question for you. What is the full form of GNP? GNP stands for what? And to answer this, you will again have the tenure of 30 seconds and your time starts now. Okay, the 10 seconds have been passed. Last 20s are remaining. The last 10 seconds. Okay, the time. So the correct answer is that GNP stands out for gross national product. Okay, it stands out for gross national product. Got it? That was the thing. Revenues from the information technology industries have grown from 150 million in 1990 to 4 billion in 1999. Okay, here most of the students will get confused that if the revenue was 150 in 1990, now it is 4 in 1999. So there is a decrease in the, you can say, the revenue. Then why we are taking this as an increase or we are appreciating this? So the main game is of million and the billions. That was 150 number, but 150 in millions. That was 4 number, but 4 in the billions. So now you can see that basically the difference is of the millions and the billions. That's why we are getting it here. Okay. Thereafter, India's per capita net product, NNP, net national product basically, in 1999 to 2000, that fiscal year, was more than 2.7 times that was in the year of 1951. It means that we had also got an achievement in this. After economic sphere, now let us move to the social infrastructure, the achievements of this. Between 1950 to 1998, the infant mortality rate have halved to 72 births per 1000 births, down from 146. It means that in the year of 1950, that was 146, and in the year of 1998, that was almost half, 72. Okay. Life expectancy at the birth has grown up from 32 years in 1951 to 51 to 63 years in 2000. It means that the lifespan of the people that was up to 32 years in the 1950 to 51 has grown from this and become 63 years in the year of 2000. After this, a child born in Kerala today can expect to live longer than the child born in Washington. Okay, Washington is a place in the country of USA. Kerala is the state of India. Washington is also the state of USA. Okay, now most of you will counter that the Washington is not a state but is a capital of USA. Then I will just tell you one thing, that if you are thinking this, you are wrong. Why? Because Washington is the state. The capital is Washington DC. Okay, so that is a main difference. Okay, so keep this thing in your mind. Okay, Washington is a state of United States of America and the capital is Washington DC. Got it? Thereafter, the life expectancy of women in Kerala is now 75 years. Thereafter, India has put in place an extensive system of public health services and the medical network. In 1951, the country had only 725 primary healthcare centers. By 1995, that has increased to more than 150,000. So now you can see that how much it is. 725, not even touching the 1000. And now it is 150,000. Okay. Thereafter, number of primary school has increased significantly from 1951 to 1995. Okay. It means that in the 1951, the number of schools at the primary level was 210,000. In the year of 1995, that has reached up to 590,000. Okay. Nearly 95% of the villages have a primary school within the walking distance of 1 kilometer. Okay. It means that at village level, the school qualifications and the things have been grown significantly. Okay. After this, what have been the political failures in the span of these 50 years? The main cause and the source of the political decay is the ineptness of the electoral process, which has not been able to keep out criminal, antisocial, and undesirable elements from the participation in the elections, even dominating the political scene and polluting the electoral and parliamentary process. Okay, that was the main cause. Thereafter, though the democratic traditions are stabilizing, however, the democracy cannot be said to be an inclusive representative democracy. Okay? Why? The pluralism and the diversity of India is not reflected in and captured by its democratic institutions. Likewise, the participation of women in the public affairs decision-making process is nowhere near proportionate to their numbers. Got it? Thereafter, the enormity of the cost of the elections and the electoral corruptions have been having the grievous deleterious effect on the national progress and has led to the degradation of the political process to detriment of the common good. The political parties, which have a fair share of the criminal elements, handle enormous funds collected ostensibly for meeting the party and the electoral expenditure. Money, power, and the criminal elements have contributed to pervasive degeneration of the standards in the public life and have criminalized the politics. This is reflected in the quality of governments and the governing processes. There are no legal instrumentalities or set of law to regulate the conduct of the political parties, legitimacy of the fundraising, audit and account requirements, and the inner party democracy. The national political parties are more divided on the definition of common national purpose than even before. The noble purpose of public life had degenerated than even before in the opportunistic and self-seeking politics of the competitive personal gain. The fraternity, the noble idea of the brotherhood of the man, which also has been enshrined in the Constitution preamble, has remained unrealized. The people of India are more divided amongst themselves than at the time of the country's independence. There is increasing criminalization and the exploitation of the political climate and processes and increasing the criminals, politicians, bureaucratic nexus. There is crisis of confidence, crisis of leadership, political leaders owing to narrow partisan and sectarian interest and desires for the short-time political gains are unable even to agree upon broad common national purposes. Okay, so these were some of the problems from the political spheres. So students, basically in this lecture we have finished till here. In the next lecture we will continue from here. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the next lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say thank you.